personalities need focus on no. You just some details be when it comes to the constituencies. Now, natural constituencies now, they spoke about them, the various local issues, any other issues, NPP lose election. So to conclude on this research, and remember some of the local issues are more research, they raise as some of the reasons why they lost the election. And then now, let me go to the local issues. And I may come or say, in many of the constituencies, there existed many local issues which worked against the party. There were some like the Santia Chem Central, where some party officers alleged the incumbent had assured in the 2020 general election that he was not going to contest again in the next succeeding primaries. So I'm saying, Nana, a honorable education Kobio to go for soon cancer castle or beba 2020 for doom maybe no honorable so no kind one ye be or beba and I didn't talk about. So now those issues they must look at it. Again, and almost D-Day operations. Nana Tihe must say the findings revealed that 32% of the respondents were not aware that some support from the regional and national party came to the constituency to support their local electioneering campaign and election process. Nana Sikabia national for the ban and reform. Down to account as a no cre, Nanom report on Zeno cre. Penifoni Giscano Matnas, Nanamia Mehubida, Nancy Ababy from Eugene, Sabo baby no taming canons. Me what test him, or the there be where he be, Nana Penina Discano. Na, Sanum de Amrantiano. D. No, Sikes yet Mumudi. And Osansi, even those who were aware did not know how much had been brought by the party to prosecute the election campaign. Now, NPP in for this Ganomedi. And Crana Kofom Radio Score Casson Face Canem, no Mediscano. And answer, hey, won't comment on the bomber basso. Now, see, in some constituencies, the PCs hijacked the financial resources brought in for the elections day activities and other connected matters. Na. Your party's election day no more to skagum. But scanaba na parliamentary candidate na jeno dia shen botum. What tennis can so? Monies for transportation to convey voters from one area or town to another to vote were found to have been poorly managed. Na party mo believe in digitalization. More the cash here the election day. Tinana NPP say dey ba ko mo mulusu ye ni. Now, no, baby, interesting. I'm saying the food to serve to the polling agents in many of the constituencies were not the best, and some served food without water. D-Day na ye to abano agency bi enye duane. Omo enye duane so na enye duane papa bi. Ebi nso nya duane omo enye nsuo. D-Day no issue so many omo raise ye ni. Now they move further to some constituencies, and it's very interesting. Afona Southeast is a Dujama, baby. Fredachi Lucy Honorable a double. A purely NPP area, but there's settler communities, and I've told you that when you look at the ring of Kumasa, that's where the NDC targeted the settler communities. So you saw a lot of voter registration. Tibantama 7%. Such a farm place was the highest, 22%. Overshare. The Hafano area, they're recording in excess of 13, 14, 16%. The central Kumasi Swami, 11%, 12%, any other. So the NPP was certainly not focusing on voter registration. And I'm saying, one of the major factors that hugely affected the fortunes of the party was the negligence on the part of MPs and DC to prevent Chinese operators in galamsey from destroying the Sawan rice project fields, which has been the source of livelihood to the local farmers for 2 decades. So now say baby achilusu you know, na achinye serious. This year wants no nye serious. Now this is the wording of the report. Almost a rice factory be a high, no na kroma for ni didi ho no. Almost tena wa yen hwe my China for at the galamsey be say sa project na and I'm say I have for north south east e wa Dujama. Edujama. Now, almost said the party's failure to engage a group called 64 battalions at Edujama also affected the party. This youth group in the Hafano Southeast constituency felt neglected, reducing their motivation to rally vote for the party. And indirectly, now a party militia for them. But coming from 64 battalions, somebody Jamawo. Omonia maybe an party in a moment to me and no more lose election. Now, I had a constituency breakdown. Young Santia Chem of Agogo. I must say, reference was made to the expunging of the names of some 145 polling station executives in the lead up to the conduct of the 2020 parliamentary primaries. The infringing hampered collaborations and cohesion, causing delays and inefficiencies in campaign activities. And I'm saying as far back at 2020, Abra Kweku Badgeman, any honorable and the appear could be former member of parliament, abono mo ye no yi nkrofo bi din firi media bufuo ba o mantimi ansovia for 4 years and the mo lose election no or say grassroots members were demoralized and confused by the lack of unity at the leadership level, weakening our voter mobilization effort. The FM station of the independent MP, which has served the party well in the past, was closed down for reasons difficult to comprehend. And I sort of him there. I'm just sort of him and a boy NPP bombu jin intini ewa gogo. Edu murubinom kotumu na party for na ewo from so man tisa de na NPP officials here na se.
No.
And then I do remember no man work was a mention FM, be a mention FM, be no almost buy. And I'm a casa only radio station in Becon. But I know be a new serious and also bet you won't to me FM. Young can of crunch them. Or be a new serious and also bet you power FM. Or be a new serious analysis or bet you station. Because why would listen? I would tell them, don't come up a beer or you know it. So you don't close down independent minded radio stations. Go on now. Me tell him says come twa my bass no dimina mayen this communication man won Nhyira FM meduma no and I mean mayen NPP communication man and the NPP read their budget 2018 or so government communication was a flashy program. Government communication 4 million cedis was listed as a flashy program. Now my says I mean I'm trying by communication man. It's an almost short FM I do independent candidate am I'm say there's a likelihood that the youth might permanently switch allegiance to the independent candidate in future election if an amicable solution is not found to address the situation. Now, also man shall branty and come from Pong will be DMPR because MPP for na wa go no muti come home. That is what they are saying that Santia Chimlov. Na na kumawu omsi wunipa DC or intransigent before musuma and the Kuford bro from the man. Omsi tintin tirinti. The patieti on Tiasa Mase. Omso on the basso and tokano.
You can't no cranan din. Ajikum.
So on the basso and tokan ejinam and the NS became a casualty. NS tries so be a dioma bembomon tiasi, tintin tirinti semu kumawudo. And I be almost a polling station connected where you mudia film. That's kumawu. Such a farm planes. Now, also one of the most damaging factors was the internal conflict between the former DC, who's Odenchem, and the constituency chairman on one side and the parliamentary candidates on the other. But I had no digger to Mumbelus because my catcher says such a farm planes to Kokumba for the dorsal. Don't go for saying no or kukumbeni. Girl no or Nadia na mammy a kenny. And I never think a kukumbeni, so come or cut across the board. And in fact, such a fan play the dominant ethnic group in your air can, a kukumba. Now I think Bakwa Bansana can, so I can is the third largest. In fact, Nana, the difference now go in the crown or MPP Adam. Pay me research, no Bob Bonafin from. And I'm Nana Papa, so my maniska, or teacher near now, Nika Pressa, so my maniska. Now, last one by my tough pankron. Tough interest. No more say. One of the major reasons for the party's defeat was internal conflict among constituency leaders. Tafo Vincent one. I'm saying Vincent in free Tafo. Ne papa na betcha de Tafo. Into there be issues so. And almost say 500 cities be near say the man e mile wo pankron near ha market ni bi anya bi. Ebudu a omo hema no say bi a omo no nyi fines a omo mfa ma. E bi discard so kodu dwa mo di dwa komo omo yere mo. Report na America no. Omo kodu wo so this can come man omo da kodi dwa. And you see what no. And address it to Duma say very interesting. And I had a controversial and I can say address it to Duma say constituency is made up of several ethnic groupings, and this affected the organization of the party at the grassroots. The PC is from a minority ethnic group. The other major ethnic group felt that they could be selling out to the minority ethnic group if they rally to support the candidate. I see Bamia in here. Think about it. On one breath, the general report says that religion and tribalism wasn't a factor. But when you disaggregate the data, you strip the data down, you are saying that in the Central Farm Plains area, Akwano contest NDC, you know, from minority group, and I just said just like the northern region. I am Manfra. That's why when you say settler community, that's why I'm Manfra. So no ethnic group na ye one almost the minority. Bamians, you know, is also from a minority group when it comes to the northern region. So the NPP must do a proper analysis here. Me as a researcher, me who na jump to me because the general data says that the 2,000 people they spoke to, they said tribalism and religion was not a factor. When you read the CDDF barometer report and the NCC, they also confirm that people didn't say religion and tribalism as a factor. Is it that too? Yentimin kana ya no ana bedwam ma ye kana ye trim.
Yeah.
The NPP must do proper research to understand it.
But the reality, question now, maybe I can attempt to answer. The fact is that NPP for Trimunano, dodo me a Christopher no, they didn't feel Baumia as somebody to lead them. That's the fact. I want to mean can the Trimunina uno musia memma kremoni ma medi Christo ni so and no way trim but one can't to beka to say nyehwe.
But Nana, you see,
I'm sure say
and that is interesting. Last week, when Professor Amache Buati, I'm casting per sentence or candy was say MPP's choice of Napo was an emotional decision. And did go be said BNI report to be source. I pick it. Almost a political parties now. No man say ma sebe. And the day no come on, let's kind of come on. Woman, when you money wa home fan can be
yeah.
So our political parties, manana, and so we deploy lot of research. I'm trusting this report, but chairman say catch them official we offer a report to us media. Almost say address it to do say ethnicity. Nipa no nkoyi no free minority ethnic group tie me and tribalism analysis na me MPP na say nipa no nkoyi no free minority ethnic group. Nana address it to do say nya ba me na make.
Okay.
But report ni nyina no so no say tribalism any religion any factor. Are they not approbating and reprobating? As we come, they
were looking at the larger scale. But there are places where religion played a major role.
And I'm saying that address it to Dumase is a settler community. The dynamics is just like the northern Ghana.
Exactly.
So it may be that among food trimuno, sa ethnic sentiment na wo bomu to be can no research. Yes, and nothing make us so the NPP must not be emotional say see they must deploy more research to every SWOT analysis. You make your weakness your strength. You make your threat an opportunity.
Yeah.
So Sabami if minority at the group and are going to another election. Now man for that research so enyahe be kodoma to metueti agonana in the Boku areas. And people now report say almost as akusa cinema process and affected by me report we are. So it means that weakness of the candidate must be thoroughly researched. And somewhat strategy and strength so because nana just to do say the same characteristic mimics the north. And I was such a fun plan that one more tear the one we never be at the north. Nana what I so they as what do Kofodia. Ye free jobbing. Into a BB as a Kumase. Ye did come straight. Uko for a wakra or Musuba is a ko for Bepon and Anquetia. So you can use an area to mimic an area. So they must do proper research in all these settler communities and then genuinely get people who give them the feedback say tribe, ethnicity, Baumiamu the same. Nana they should work on as an apodi account. Nippon nim kasa and Yamanan kasa. In fact, Oba Okasabia Nenipabufu, Meboa. Okasa Bamia convincing nipa thing, Adechana for Wama for Buff.
The Bisay, Abronye DC so Omnecas on Casafa.
And Nawano.
Okay.
So you see, so in me SWOT analysis, the strategic my chairman pistol analysis, the 5 piece Nana Nina Brofuka Kenya and say, oh, be your business. Or shall be a bebow. Baby, I will share opportunities. Nana, for example, Metia Mr. Pork Grant. I was a massy. Why, Tom Preco was now the sheriff could do bank manager and I won't only serious. Maybe I'm cousin me, but Tom Poco Ken was why Ken was a cosmopolitan area. In Crown Dawson.
Why, I just said, you will ban a call for NPP. Yes,
now you're bar. Oh, make it rain. Unimno. Obana not to Tuscano.
Because Obi Akabibi woho, and which is also very key. Because religion also plays a very key role there. I'll say MPP did not do due diligence. Don't expect a lady to be a leader in a Muslim community. Don't expect a Kokomba to be a leader among Dagombes and Mamprusis, which were more in Nhyira. The lady was Kokomba and a Christian.
Oh, it's all now. What I'm catching in share from lesser professors who chance be near the Tiao. Now dynamics not there. NSC was such a fun place, you know. What's such a fun place? Then closely Gabono. NPP so magic seats, you know. But they forgot that Dufoniano. I do phone and MPD. Tom creative consultancy 2012 as finance minister. I know do master Kodi. And do for all his investments in his life in such a fun place. Nini a Christian. On it Donko Fuseni in the coy. Donko Fuseni comes from the majority ethnic group in the constituency, the Kokumba. So a man for free say machinations by and almost to die. That was why the NPP came close. Now in the next election, they bring a lady who is an Akan partly, a Dagumba partly, and has the biggest or the most prominent politician from the area. Donko Fuseni who's a Kokumba supporting her. The day I called Donko Fuseni because I was going on joy, no more Dr. Dufofi. And doctors reconcile the ranks.
Yeah.
So we NPP near Kuford Kwabi Drobelusu. Because the dynamics will not favor. We are Kenya, can the tell largest woman you have tomorrow. Win it. Now, what I say, I can't cry now. Was I free move again? Also, pay FMB every one. Also, I be the diacom. So, election is science. Okay. And a research, and I get it okay. So, again, the concern that Muslim, as anti cremo, on the Christian. So, your party,
but I make us say yes. They said they are working. A very sensitive matter, but yeah, dear, you need interest in MPP or whatever. No. We can just say, based on the near say, first of all, Empon Cremophone Susu say, Baumia was a hypocrite. Why you say Christo need more than a Muslim? And no, and no crane you may.
Yeah.
And about Baumia, so yes, I dana someone called Busumfi, and no crane is say asemno. Sabusumfi no Cremoni bian some pets adieno. Into the moment, oh, young who Christo need be a reality. Oh, yeah. Oye kremoni oye hu Kristo ni bebre oye hu say bibia mfa ho na asa na mbosomase a you have a problem with the Muslim community. These are the realities.
Nana, in fact, the panel about no brilliant. The report captured it. Men a man read one no. Nana omche bibi and the dress it raise 5 religion and it here some come say this sentiment somewhat affected the parliamentary candidates campaign in the country. However, though not in a very significant manner. However, it had no serious effect on the presidential voting pattern. The PC was a woman, and a few of the tribe heads, Muslims themselves, opined that it was difficult to accept her as their head and representative on religious grounds.
Exactly.
Another reason I'm stating that tribal sentiment, ASA. Another reason why notness in the constitution, where you address it, say, did not embrace the presidential candidate. That's why the clarity of his thought and sound policies espoused was that both Muhammad and Baumia are notness. And for them, if two notness are vying for the same position, then they will support their senior in age. What and Makachi was open where they pan notness.
Yeah.
So they believe that though Baumia or be our policies were no. From the age. Some have a penicillin to quotanching.
I think say chief no or gunja e can be visa. Say or catch a Baumia say buunia penino or can be visa during the campaign season. Or can say muyenia for mamonko buunia penny. And this Ana Omoka Omonim say it doesn't make any sense. But it does.
Interesting. I think that the NPP should exploit more. They should exploit more. Now the other concerns of Mamponia, the Medibeba.
You're right.
Medibeba.
All right. Thank you. Eugene Osei Tutu, the fact checker and your head of research now the Ebayan.